Hey friends, Tony here from TL Yarn Crafts with another crochet tutorial. Ah, the granny square. I remember being 13 years old and learning to crochet on a granny square. Times have changed, but this simple motif still sits at the center of all things crochet. In today's video, I'm taking you through the absolute basics of making granny squares, sharing 5 of my favorite tips along the way, as well as some helpful resources to inspire your next granny square project. I'd like to thank my friends at We Crochet for sponsoring this video and helping me finally make this tutorial a reality. Look for several of their yarns throughout the tutorial, and I'll have links to everything you see in the description below. To make a granny square, you're going to need a few things, namely yarn. If you're practicing granny squares for the first time, a smooth category 4 worsted weight yarn works best. Today I'm using We Crochet's Swish Worsted in the colors Clementine and Dove Heather. You'll also need a crochet hook, and that brings me to my first granny square tip. When choosing a crochet hook for granny squares, use a hook that is a ½ millimeter smaller than what is recommended on the ball band. This creates tighter, more uniform stitches. This yarn recommends a hook between 5½ millimeters and 6½ millimeters. I've decided to go with a 5 millimeter hook to create smaller, more even stitches. Play around with this tip based on how tight you crochet, but I find that this works well for every project and every yarn. To round out our supplies, we'll also need a pair of scissors and a tapestry needle. Now we can finally start crocheting and implement tip number 2. Start your granny squares with the world's easiest magic ring. Also called the magic circle or sometimes the magic loop, in crochet this technique allows you to reduce the size of the hole in the center of your granny square. I've seen many new makers get frustrated with this technique, but I recently stumbled upon a foolproof method. Start by laying the tail of the yarn over the palm of your hand. Wrap the yarn around your first finger 2 times. Bring the first loop over the second, and the second loop up and over your finger. Hold on to the yarn tails and lift up with your finger. You should now have something that looks like a slip knot, but it's actually an adjustable ring. Begin round 1 by inserting your hook. Hold on to the knot, yarn over, and pull up a loop. We're going to follow that with 2 chains, which counts as your first double crochet. So there's 1 and 2. We're going to place 2 more double crochets into our ring. Yarn over, pull up a loop in the ring, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through just 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops again. And that completes your double crochet. Let's do one more here. Yarn over and pull up the loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So we've got 3 double crochets in this group. We're going to follow that with a chain 1 for our first round and do another set of 3 double crochet. Here's 1, 2, and 3. And follow that with a chain 1. And we're going to do that 2 more times. So 3 double crochets followed by a chain 1. Here's 2 and 3. Follow that with a chain 1. One more set. Here's 1 double crochet. Here's 2 and 3. Follow that with a chain 1. We're going to lift up our loop, drop our hook, bring the tail of our magic ring to the front, and pull firmly to close the center of our ring. Insert your hook, and we're going to slip stitch in the second chain of our starting chain 2. So there's 1 and 2 chains. Insert into that chain, yarn over, pull through both loops for a slip stitch. And that completes round 1 of our granny square. If we take a closer look, you can see we have 4 sets, 1, 2, 3, and 4 sets of double crochet groups. Let's move on to round 2 of our granny square, as well as tip number 3. Work in turned rounds when making granny squares to prevent twisting. My first granny square project had a major twisting problem, which made it look like the center of my blanket was in a vortex. If you're used to granny squares looking like this, but you want ones that look like this, turning the rounds will solve your problem. Here's how to do it. After finishing the slip stitch to join round 1, rotate your work so you're now looking at the wrong side of your stitches. Next, we'll slip stitch into that chain 1 space to begin our first corner. Chain 2, which counts as your first double crochet, and then do 2 more double crochet in that same space. Here's 1 and 2. This is a corner, but we'll complete the corner at the end of the round. From here, we'll chain 1 and head to our next corner, which is our next chain 1 space. Place 3 double crochet into that space. Here's 2 and 3. And to make our corner, we'll chain 2. 1 and 2. Place 3 more double crochet into that same space. Here's 1, 2, and 3. Chain 1 and we'll head to the next chain space. Place 3 double crochet in that space. Here's 2 and 3. Chain 2 for the corner. 1, 2, and 3 more double crochet in that same space. 1, 2, 3. Chain 1, and we've got 1 more chain 1 space. So of course we'll go 3 double crochet. 1, 2, and 3. There it is. Chain 2 for the corner. 1, 2, 3 more double crochet in that same space. 1, 2, and 3. Chain 1, and we'll finish our starting corner by placing 3 double crochet in the same space as the other 3 double crochet. So we've got 1, here's 2, and 3. We'll still need to chain 2 for this corner. Slip stitch in the second chain of the starting chain 2. Yarn over, pull through both loops. Our square is looking pretty good so far. Let's do one more round together. As before, we'll start by turning our round. So just rotate your work, slip stitch into the corner, that chain 2 space, chain 2, which counts as our first double crochet, and 2 more double crochet into that same space. There's 1 and 2. Chain 1, 3 double crochet in the next chain space, which is now on the side of our work. So just 3 double crochet go here. We're going to separate our 3 double crochet groups with a chain 1, and now we're at a corner. Our corners are worked by working 3 double crochet. Here's 2 and 3. Chain 2, 3 more double crochet in that same space to create the corner. Here's 2 and 3. From here we chain 1, 3 double crochet in the next chain 1 space, chain 1, and now we've got another corner. That's 3 double crochet, chain 2, 1 and 2, 3 more double crochet. Here's 2 and 3. Chain 1, 3 double crochet in the next chain 1 space. There's 1, 2, and 3. Chain 1, and we've got another corner, so that's 3 double crochet. Here's 2 and 3. Chain 2, 3 more double crochet in that same corner. There's 2 and 3. Chain 1, 3 double crochet in the next chain 1 space. 1, 2, 3. Chain 1, and now we'll finish the corner from the beginning of our round by placing 3 double crochet into that corner. There's 2 and 3. We're going to chain 2 and finish with a join in the second chain of the starting chain 2. Now here feels like a good place to end our granny square and share tip number 4. Finish your granny squares with the invisible join technique. This helps reduce the appearance of knots in your work and makes your granny squares look seamless. To do this, cut the working yarn, leaving a 4 to 5 inch tail. Pull the loop up and out of your work and thread the tail onto a tapestry needle. Find the double crochet that is 2 stitches to the left of your join. Insert the tapestry needle under both loops of this stitch, and then through just the back loop of your join. Pull through, and now you have an invisible join. You can't even see where it is. You can't finish a granny square without weaving in your ends, so let me show you how I like to do it. Looking at the wrong side of my work, I want to essentially weave my end in and out of my work following the direction of stitches as many times as possible. So you can see I'm kind of going under one loop at a time here until I get to a few more loops under this corner. So I'm going to work under the wrong side of those loops in one direction and then come back in the opposite direction and weave under some additional loops. The more directions you weave in, the less likely that your end is going to work its way out of your work. So that feels pretty secure to me. I'm going to take my scissors and clip the end close to my work, making sure I don't cut any of the loops of my actual stitches. For the center ring, it's especially important to make sure you weave in your end well, because the last thing you need is for the center of your work to come undone. So the first thing I'm going to do is create a knot here, just for a little extra security. And then I'm going to do the same technique as before, weaving my tapestry needle under a few loops one direction, and then back under those same loops in a different direction. And that, my friends, is the basic granny square, but I did promise you 5 tips, so let's talk a little bit about changing color. If you're adding solid rounds to your granny square, join a new color with a standing double crochet. This leaves you with a starting stitch that actually looks like a double crochet because it is a double crochet. To make the standing double crochet, start with a slip knot on your hook. Be sure to turn your granny square so you're working on the opposite side of your work from the last round. Yarn over your hook, hold on to that loop, and then pull up a loop in a corner of your granny square. You now have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through the last 2 loops, and you've got a standing double crochet. From here, you can complete your round of your granny square as normal. Granny squares are as unique as the people who make them. Many seasoned crocheters work up their granny squares in their own special way, replacing a technique here or there for the perfect motif. As you continue to practice, adjust your personal granny square pattern until it feels just right for you. I hope this video gives you the confidence and skills to make your next granny square project. And if you need some inspiration, here are a few patterns to try. The Sweet Granny Baby Blanket is an heirloom project designed for that special bundle of joy in your life. Dozens of granny squares are joined together as you go for a sizable, biased granny square project. Finish with a darling border and you'll have the best gift at the baby shower. I'd recommend We Crochet's Brava worsted yarn for this project. Choose from 47 different shades of this premium acrylic yarn. If you need something easier with the same vibe, try the Daphne Afghan. This free crochet pattern utilizes stripes for a sort of inverted granny square. Easily use yarn from your stash or pick up a pretty cake yarn to give this simple pattern some major personality. Color changing cake yarns like Chroma Worsted and Chroma Twist Worsted bring some pizzazz to this project without carting around individual balls of yarn. Finally, for the ultimate in versatility, look no further than the Josie shawl. This pattern also uses granny stripes, but gentle increases create a triangle shape, making this a perfect wrap for any time of year. I made the original sample in cotton, but this kind of pattern looks perfect with just about any yarn. Have some fun experimenting. I've been looking at We Crochet's City Tweed Aran and Simply Alpaca Aran to make something really special for myself. I received a lot of requests for a video like this, and I want to thank my friends at We Crochet for helping me make it. And thank you so much for watching and for helping my channel make it to 160,000 subscribers. I mean, you guys are the best. Let me know in the comments if there are any other granny square related tips and tricks you'd like a video for. And as always, I'm Tony of TL Yarn Crafts, and I'll see y'all next time.